This is CAN TV Channel 21, and I'm your host for the Black Star Still Rising program. I am Stephen, Silver Black Butterfly Carter, and we're here today representing the Black Star Project, who is our sponsor, in memory of Philip Jackson, the founder of the Black Star Project. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that. I've got an exciting guest. One of my D9 brothers from Phi Beta Sigma, my good D9 brother. Good to have him on the show.
Man, appreciate it.
Revin Fellows.
Oh, make it Revin. I ain't appreciate it.
I wanted to get, I didn't want to get mixed up.
They all trying to claim
folks try to make
they
it.
They trying to claim
it. But we're going. He's such an exciting person. I know I'm going to ask him to come back, but I'm going to give you a little bit more about background about him so you'll know. Now, folks, do what you have to do. Get your pencil and paper down, because you'll be taking notes on what we have to say, things of what he has to say and is going to share with him. And know right now that I am so grateful for my studio producer today by herself. Is Imani Payne. Imani, wave at our audience. She's saying hello to you folks out there. Glad to have her here. Want to thank the folks down at the Black Star Project, especially Gloria Smith, the executive director of the Black Star Project, who has done marvelous things since she took over after Phil's demise. And also all the producers or directors down at the Black Star Project, thank you for helping us put this together. And it would not have been possible without my staff, my associate producers. That is going to be Dr. Mike Washington and Mr. Ellis Taylor. Thank you all for being a part of making this program successful and all that the Black Star Still Rising is.
Oh, yes.
Let me just tell you a little bit about this guy. You're going to get excited, too. He's a Chicagoan, first of all. I don't know what neighborhood he has not grown up, from Chatham to the West Side,
Bronzeville,
to Bronzeville, whatever.
Inglewood.
All right. He's a Simeon man. All right. That gives him you get rights there being a Simeon.
A little blue and gold going.
That's right. He's Phi Beta Sigma, so that gives him some rights. But here's the interesting thing about him. A lot of folks don't know this. He was the point guard before they were called point guards.
The true point guard.
The true point guard. But he was the first no-look passing point guard.
Yes, sir.
And was part of that Simeon fame over the years.
Yes, never looked at a man I passed the ball to in my life.
Never had to look at them. You just knew where they were, okay? It's very succinctly. He's not only a civic activist, he's an advocate for the rights, the things that black folks here in Chicago and Hispanic folks in Chicago are doing, and that he and his programs are doing. But can I pass it over to you? Tell us a little bit about this Millionth Fathers March that's going to be happening, that's sponsored by the Black Star Project.
Well, first, let me thank Miss Gloria, who's like the mother of another mother. I'm Geraldine's son, so she's deceased, but you have to adopt these new mothers that adopt you.
Well, you can.
And I'm also a protege of Mr. Philip Jackson, Black Star Project. Watched him organize and strategic pull people together. Master teacher, master organizer. So again, Revin Fellows, just like I said, advocate. But one of the things that's coming up that's really important is we got the annual event that we do, Philip Jackson, the Million Father March.
Million Fathers March. Tell how big, how expansive this is.
Well, Philip always thought things were global. Everybody, all politics local, but you have to connect. So when he first started and made the call, it picked up steam all over in local, international, and so we had chapters in every city because they said that his fathers had to get back involved, and he launched a campaign, and it just swole, similar to the Million Man March. Philip he modeled that, and men came and answered the call all over. So you had men in every major city walking their children to school, which they say statistically, if a black male or father is involved in their children's lives, grades go up, discipline,
Listen, folks,
truancy, less violence and behavior. And just a little thing of just walking to school that day gives the little girl confidence and be secure, and the little brother confident that his dad is encouraged to go to school. So it's a lot of statistical data that shows that first day of school, if your dad is with you, it's a game changer.
I get excited now every day when I pass kids going to school. When I see kids skipping, I know there's some happy kids. When I see them, as you're saying, holding their daddy's hand, walking to school, that's an exciting thing for me. Fathers, listen up. When is this going to happen here in Chicago? I know it's happening all over the country, but when it's going to happen in Chicago?
This Friday, I understand.
19th.
The 9th, September 19th.
Okay.
And we're going to be choosing schools across the city. We're going to do one school, and I think they're relocating. But there's a commitment of men here and abroad that are looking on that first day of school to have an impact. And right now, what better time than now where fathers are needed? We have to step up to the plate. A lot of men are doing great work. They talk about black men in a certain way, but we don't get a platform. Mm-hmm. Also, our brothers, black and brown brothers, they have a stigma of them, but we are really catching the brunt of stereotype through the news media because there's a lot of black men. So they think black men are deadbeat dads, but a lot of us just dead broke dads.
That's a good way to put it. Well, you got a way to word it, my brother.
So we're on this Friday, we're going to be walking children to school, showing male presence. And, you know, our women in Chicago, with all the crime and things going on, they have to see an influx of males stepping up to the plate. And as you do that, we'll be able to heal that divide that we've been having, that black men don't care about their children.
You know, you got to hit this very interesting point, I think. The intergenerational nature of what you advocate, what the programs, talk about that and the importance of whatever programs there are now. For it to be effective, it has to be intergenerational.
Man,
tell our folks.
Well, you know, talking about grandparents raising grandchildren, wide gap. A lot of things going. People got drama, and the grandmama had to take on the burden.
Okay.
Big mama.
Yes.
You know, I have this thing now. What happened to Big Mama? Big Mama 32 now. Yes, this is serious. Yeah, it's serious. I mean, it's out. But you know, children are having babies early, and our people are dying out. But what's unique about it, like here, you and I'm 66, and
are you that
66?
I thought you were younger than
man, July 2nd. And so, just an honor to sit behind the wisdom. I've been blessed to be sitting at the foot of the elders for years. And so, my gray and my wisdom has come from sitting down and listening for brothers like yourself, Brother Philip Jackson, and a lot of the great men here in Chicago. I've been Brother Conrad Worrell. And so, I've been able to sit at the feet of a lot of elders that gives me my wisdom. But what that does is you have to have a blueprint for success.
Okay, talk about it.
And if,
Are you folks who's not taking notes? Take some notes on this. It's important. We call some folks. All right.
Yeah. And so, I used to say, been there, done that.
Okay.
If you ain't been there, you ain't done that.
Okay.
So why learn from your mistakes when you can learn from other people's mistakes and not to make a mistake?
That sounds like a plan, an outline that works.
Well, you put the bricks in the game. So if you put the bricks, when I get to a certain pace, and I've been talking to you and other brothers, like Congressman Davis and other men of that level, they can say, this is what you need to do when you get here. The worst thing to do is get to a place and don't know where to go. So if you talk to the elders, say, when you get to this light, make a right. You get to this stop sign, make a left. So what you do, you avoid pitfalls in life that will scar you for life. So you don't need to take some battle scars, but you sure don't need to touch some if somebody already paid the way.
You brought up, when I prepare a guest for this program, we talk about a lot of things. And one interesting thing you talked about was networking. And I'll just phrase that. If you're not networking...
You're not working.
Say it again.
If you're not working, if you ain't networking, you're not working.
Explain that.
And the other piece is, It used to be who you know. Now it's who know you.
Who know you? And somebody knew you. That's why you.
I was just saying, you got to know somebody, and then they got to validate you.
Give me the hookup.
Hey.
Here you are.
And then you got people with integrity that put you there, so everybody don't need to be on the show. Got some baggage.
Not to be on the show.
so no, but if you networking allows you, I tell my young men, I used to be over a program called Books Over Balls. We put over
Books over balls. And that's not anything bad.
No. Well, what happens is people stereotype sports, and you play ball. Sports teach you discipline, how to be on time, make sure you go to class, and then you got to follow travel, violation, jump ball, out of bounds, 3 seconds. So it's actually teaching you rules and guidelines to govern your behavior on the court. I tell a young man the same thing you do on the court, do that in the classroom. Just practice and go be the best you can, man. Shoot that jump.
Transcend the basketball court, the football field, etc. It transcends to life lessons. And
yes, sir.
What are some of your valuable life lessons, both as a fraternity man, but also from Simeon, your upbringing, the neighborhoods that you're in? Because you're still basically in the neighborhood.
I'm on the ground, boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
And I don't mean where no fans at. Where the man's at. We're looking for the mans. We ain't looking for no fans. But I say that to say basketball allowed me to move around free, because, when we play basketball, you didn't have any gang problems. You can go from citywide, play, but that ball was a passport. And then Simeon, I share with people where you went, we're not better than any school. But one thing you need about Simeon is we win. We have a history. UCLA dynasties.
Tell about some of the players that came out of Simeon. I know some. Tell the folks.
Well, one is prominent, and the 41st anniversary when he was killed is young man Ben Wilson. Who was shot at 17. He was shot going to a store next to Simeon School.
Yes.
And he was shot, had an altercation with a young man. But I was able to mentor him. Out of Chatham. I grew up in Chatham, went to St. Barbara Elementary School, and I'm actually was one of the original 25s. So the 25 that they're talking about, that Ben Wilson, that Barry Groves and Nick Anderson and Bobby Simpson. So what they did, Nick started, he was going to wear that jersey to honor Ben, and so it'd be all American, all state guys put on that 25. But don't forget the original 25 is sitting next to you.
And what's happening with Derek this year? He's becoming into the circle. What do they call it? The Bulls. His jersey is being retired. Number one, and it's going to be in the rafters.
Yes, this year that's going to be big. The week that he had when he was here, when his retirement, he had the city on fire. It was a palm. It was a peace. It was a spirit to be proud of. So his spirit transcended throughout the city. And if you check the record, there wasn't a lot of violence going on because we were all high on a positive. We need so much positive energy, especially in being a young man coming from the community and struggling to get, is it any good in the hood? Came out of Inglewood.
You know how to rhyme stuff. That's what makes you so interesting.
That's that no look.
You listen to him, you're a poet and don't even know it.
Man, I'm just trying to fit in my space. And I think God has used me to be a visionary. I'm not a writing, but I'm sure extraordinary.
Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
We'll put a little French
on it. Put a little season salt. But I think Derek moved to I tell people the 25 made the player, not the player made the 25.
Okay.
It's a spirit about that 25. And I like to say I laid down as a point guard, defensive, hardcore. So it's like when you put that 23 on, Mike, whoever puts it on, it's like you're Superman.
But you coached too.
Yes,
you
sir.
did coaching. Yeah. And was that Simeon or other schools?
I had the pleasure of graduating from Olive Harvey College.
Okay.
Played there 2 years.
Okay.
Won the first championship in about 10 years at the time, under Coach Gil Walker. Then I went on to Royal University.
Were you about 6'6" then? Or
I'm 5'8.5" now, and I'm lying. So I'm probably about 5'5", 5'6". I was the shortest man in the gym.
But you were strong, though.
I was fast.
Yeah, you were
and
fast.
then I strong hands, but I was out to prove something.
What was that?
Man, that a little man can play.
Okay.
With a big heart.
Like Spud Webb.
I couldn't dunk the ball, but I was fast as lightning. I'm probably the only player to ever play basketball in the history with no left hand, no jump shot, and never dribble with his head up. And they make you go left when your hand's left hand weak. I went left with my right hand, and they didn't steal it.
You were just different from a lot of folks, and you didn't mind the difference.
Man, I'm very humble with it and competed, played against some of the best, Isaiah Thomas, Raymond McCord, Sherrod Arnold.
Is that on the courts? Would you play on 71st and King Drive? Not 71st, 72nd?
Well, you got 71st King Drive, you got Grand Crossing, you got Cole Park, you got Dauphine Park, you got Evelyn Park.
63rd across
and
from
then also out there in the 100, so you could go around and get your reputation. And then go on the west side on Mason Park and Bethel New Life. And so you had to move around.
And you had to come with the game.
Oh, man, you got to come and get not don't come back.
No. There was no next for you.
No, you get on the car.
And you won't get chosen.
So what God allowed me to do in this space and watch guys like Philip, who's a master strategic, he always would come up with something new that would be right on time. So when he put that Million Father March and it tied to the Million Family March, Million Man March, which is now prevalent. On the 16th, we're going to be organizing the Million Fathers. And then on the 19th of September, then on October 16th is the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March. So look how we begin to mobilize men, organize, and we get to that Day of Atonement Reconciliation. We're looking at over 2,000 black boys at Chicago State University with over 300 black men mentoring, martial arts, boxing, yoga, STEM, robots.
Let me stop you just for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Because one of the things that we talked about is what happens after the Million Man March. It's been the misconception that nothing happened. Tell us about your experience after the Million Man March. When you got back to Chicago, what was your experiences in somebody doing something, not just listening to a good speech? What happened in your experience?
Well, I was in college at the time. Well, I'm graduating. I was in Aurora, so I left out to took a group of young men and my mentor, Dr. Charles Smith, and like all the men, I went to validate what I was doing, not to see what I needed to do. Mine was a little different. I was putting in work a long time. So when the minister called us all together, he had planted a seed all over. So it didn't just happen overnight, but it's highly impossible to get 2 million black men in one place, no fight, no cussing, and have a spiritual rest. So we do know the Most High showed up that day, and we had a spirit, and we pledged to go back and be better fathers, adopt black babies, and get married, and it was a gang troop for about 2 years. And so with that being done, that spiritual thing changed the whole America. And when we put that money up, it showed in other global countries that black men are not killing each other, and we had some money.
I want you to address what the challenges are, and without naming names or talking about people, what are the challenges for octogenarians, septuagenarians, the other generations 20 years younger? So what are our challenges, and how do we meet those together? I know you have some thoughts on that.
Well, definitely, because I've been around a lot of wisdom, what I've seen happen is we drop the ball as elders.
So talk to those folks.
Okay, we drop the ball as elders. We owe our children an apology. In Chicago, we have 198 black elected officials, first black president, 3 black mayors, first Speaker of the House. We over the fire department, we over that, the police department, over that, the treasury department. And there's no way, by the grace of God, and you got every national leader, that we can be in this condition where we had more millionaires than anybody. So we can't blame that on children just because they tore the project down and moved people around. We lost Seaway Bank, Independence Bank, and lost all that.
Telling the truth.
So we lost Ebony Magazine, we lost all our banks, and they want to blame children. I think we begin to get our degrees and went to college and had a good time. Someone started chasing and partying like we had arrived and forgot we had some cousins coming, and we paying a hell of a price. We owe them to put something in place. We ain't passed no torches, and we gotta get out of the way of the grandchildren. You gotta birth some. I've mentored over 100-some boys that if I'm gone, they know the message. You have to duplicate yourself. And what's really happened spectacular, if I could say, Congressman Danny Davis just did something that's unprecedented. We do it and look at it. But 84-year-old legislator, been a Springfield champion, reentry, second chance at fathers, passing to a 52-year-old young man from the West Side. That gap and that move is powerful.
You got to have a succession plan. Too. You can't. I'm afraid to mention this, but some things are happening in D.C. with the Congressman Norton, and I've been reading about folks in probably. No, I'm not going to say it. Folks who keep up with D.C. politics know what I'm talking about, and some things that have to be considered about the person who is there. They've got to say, well, it's time to pass that torch on. It's got to be passed on,
yes,
and passed on in the wisdom.
Yes,
because I know, I'm much more aware that I may have wisdom to pass on, but there's wisdom and there's knowledge that is being passed on to me, and I've got to be willing to understand and respect that knowledge that folks are so far ahead of me. Technology. Have you had some of that experiences too? Being those who you mentor, mentoring you in a way.
Well, I tell all my young men, you don't owe me nothing but to give what I gave you to another brother.
Give them back.
Each one teach one, reach one.
Okay.
I tell them all the time, you don't owe me nothing. I give you my time. My phone is 24 hours a day. I've had a lot of calls with young men. Coach, if you don't get here, somebody gonna get killed. I say, where you at? I say, I'm out. It's 3 o'clock. We're going to White Castle to catch him and calm him down. They need to have a place to call when they get ready to make that move.
In
Stony Island.
Stony Island. That 24 hour day.
You can't be scared of our own people.
Yeah.
And so, but I just appreciate Philip. I watched his model. So I'm able to do things off of what he did, not piggyback, but veggie bag.
Let me stop for a minute. I know we're running out of time.
Oh, go ahead.
But I wanted to...
I hope I didn't talk too much.
No, you didn't talk too much. I just didn't flow with the way I wanted to. We've got some things coming up.
Yes.
Gloria told me to make sure that we announce what's coming up with the fall session of the Black Star Projects program. First of all, we have the Young Black Men of Honor. That's for kids 8 to 18 years old. That's starting September 30th through December 9th, all right?
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be some information. I'm going to give you a phone number right now. Take this down, 773-285-9600. You better write that down. I don't see a pen and paper, all right? Next thing, Philip Jackson Youth Development Program. That will be on Fridays from October 3rd to December 25th. About leadership development. That's going to be at the Black Star office too, at 3509 South King Drive. I gave you the phone number for more information, 773-285-9600. Write that down, pass it on. Right, let me see. We've got the Philip Jackson Freedom School. That's going to be fall, starts on the 4th of October through the 13th of December, and that'll be from 2 to 12 on Saturdays. Again, the number 773-285-9600. Got that? And what else do we have? We're going to make sure we've got everything. Young Black Men of Honor.
Youth development.
The
Saturday school.
Got Kevin about flipped.
And that's not a Saturday school for punishment. That's a Saturday school for knowledge.
For knowledge. No, not true. When you go there, you're going to pick up something. You're not just.
Man, you know what's powerful about that? We, as you said, we're going to bring all those young men to that. We're going to line up 300 black men with about 300 boys to follow them to the rest of the year and be mentors. So it's not going to be a one and grab. And Philip taught it best. You can see it's going on, it's constantly going on. So we're going to shift that. We're going to use young men to those programs. We're just going to be throwing no-look passes and moving our young people.
Exponential. You're good at the no-look pass, but you know it's going to go to the right one because you got that sixth sense.
Just got to get
a rhythm, right?
Stay in your lane. I tell the guy, I did all the behind the back dribbling. You can't just shoot, brother. Put the ball in all that other stuff, the clock gonna run out. I already used up most of the clock.
Okay. Well, we used it wisely. Did we give you any shout outs to some of the programs that you're going to be doing?
Well, but again, definitely Enoch Muhammad, Hip Hop Detox, that's the 2X. And I'd be remiss that that program, and his wife has been doing it. And what it is taking the poison out of hip hop. So gangster rap hijacked hip hop with spoken word, last poets.
Okay.
They didn't know it. So what we're doing is detoxing, taking the gangster out of hip hop, which is the arts, the culture, the dance, the 5 elements. And what we're doing is a great job. Brother Enoch's been doing it since he got back home from college. But hip hop detox with 2X, you can Google it, Enoch Muhammad, and tell it the word. We're looking for some volunteers to be at Chicago State October 16th for the Million Man March 30th anniversary. You be there, because when men stand up, boys sit down.
Glory, I want to thank you. You didn't tell me you were giving me recommending a poet. I didn't know it. The poet and Phi Beta Sigma. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to be in company of another D9 brother, my brother.
No, man.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. It's all about unity. I
Okay.
tell them,
Okay.
no more West Side, South Side. We all outside.
South side, side,
We're gonna bring it
outside.
together.
All
But I
right.
want to say to you, brother, thank you. Your legacy that you told me, and man, the legacy Harold Washington and playing ball, and you like myself, you moved in every community. I don't know if my mother was running from rent or not, but we did move around. But it allows us to have a passport.
I remember quarter parties too.
Oh yeah.
How many remember
Oh,
quarter parties?
remember this? You had to write your plug to get in.
Right.
$5.
We know too much, even though you're 20 years my junior. You had some similar experience. Thank you for being out with us today. Come back next week. I'm back from 3 surgeries. You're going to look for me every Tuesday, 5:30 to 5:55.